February 7th. This is 2025. This is my review of my reading of Exodus chapter 20, 21, and chapter 22, 1 through 15. Reading the Bible in a year, chronologically. So in this section of the Bible, we have the 10 Commandments. And we start off with, must not have any other God before me. The only God. Dogs are fighting over there. You must not make an idol for yourself. Don't bow down to anything but God. God's a jealous God. Doesn't tolerate that kind of thing. Even says it lays the sins of the parents upon their children. But he did the other part to this that I like. I lavish unfailing love for 1,000 generations on those who love me and obey my commandments. And then you must not misuse the name of the Lord your God. That's number 3. And remember to observe the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. That's number 4. That's 4. And you can summarize those 4 into love your God. And Jesus said, when Jesus was asked, what is the greatest commandment? He responded, love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. And the second is like it, love your neighbor as yourself. And again, these first 4, love your God. Then honor your father and mother. You will live a long, full life in the land. Honor your father and mother. You must not murder. You must not commit adultery. You must not steal. You must testify falsely against your neighbor. Don't lie. You must not covet your neighbor's house. You must not covet your neighbor's wife, male or female servant, ox or donkey, or anything else that belongs to your neighbor. Don't covet, don't lie. Again, comes back to, you can summarize that. If you love your neighbor, you're not going to do any of those things, right? So love your neighbor as yourself. And that was all the law and the prophets hang on that. And we'll get into that even further down here. And then God is so powerful. That's the other thing you got to look at here. God just booms and just scares the Israelites. It freaks them out. Don't let God directly speak to us or we will die. And don't be afraid, Moses answered them, for God has come in this way to test you so that your fear of him will keep you from sinning. Did that work? We know it didn't work. We know the rest of the story. And we know that this is interesting to note, that your fear of him will keep you from sinning. It doesn't work. We screw that up. The Israelites screwed that up. We screw that up. And is that how we share the love of God to others? That's how we proclaim the love of Jesus, the good news that he loved us enough to die for us, set us free? No. Then we get some instruction on how to make altars. It needs to be all natural and good, and strange things don't, no stairs so somebody can look under you and look at your nakedness. It's kind of weird. And then we get the next section about fair treatment of slaves, cases for how to handle yourself, how to handle personal injury cases, how to handle protection of property, those kind of things. And all that can be summed up with how to be fair and righteous and loving your neighbor. He gives us good instructions on how to do that. If we love our neighbor. And Jesus said, on this, all the law and the prophets hang on love the Lord your God with all your heart, strength, soul, and mind strength. Let's botch that. And love your neighbor as yourself. And all the law and prophets hang on these 2 commandments. And we can see that, right? That makes total sense. So we got to look at those rules, those laws, and that mindset. We're not looking to be splitting hairs on things. Are you loving your neighbor? Are you taking care of people? Do you care about them? Or are you more concerned with yourself? Are you willing to sacrifice your own desires to help other people? And that's what he's getting at. So that's my take on this today. And that's all I got.